Our lead comes from Pro Bouncy Ball. If you thought this would be the year that Chris Paul won a championship, you're a loser. Game 7 in the Valley of the Sun. The Mavericks and Suns. Now, typically the home team has a tremendous edge in Game 7. If you go by the comps, the Suns should have won this game in a rout and would have been into the Final Four. But that's why they play the games. That's why they play the games. And wow. This game was over at halftime. No need to watch the second half as the Phoenix Suns were being serenaded with boo by the people who paid premium amounts of money to watch this game. Dallas building up a 30-point lead at halftime. A 30-point lead in a Game 7. 30-point lead in a Game 7. If that seemed odd to you, it certainly seemed odd to me.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Turns out that 30-point lead, the biggest all time in a Game 7. Never before had a team played like that Phoenix Suns team did. But did they want to do something next week? Did they have plans next week and they didn't want the job to get in the way? This was a coronation situation in the second half as the Mavericks were piling on the points. Luka Doncic finished with 35 points, 10 rebounds, and the Mavs mollywopped Phoenix 123-90. The game was not even that close. Spencer Dinwiddie with 30. Dallas on the road shot almost 57% from the floor. The path of least resistance. And the better story in the losing locker room. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the Suns in the NBA's Final Four. But let's discuss here the question. What went wrong for the only team in the NBA to win 60-plus games this season, the Phoenix Suns? So I've got Fast Pass, Pudding,
hey, Coach,
and Moses. And we will combine all of these things together. Again, we'll get Fast Pass, Pudding, and Moses. So first of all, listen, Luka Doncic and Spencer Dinwiddie, mostly Luka, but Spencer Dinwiddie, combining with Luka to overwhelm. It was a tidal wave is what it was against the Suns. Doncic, in the first half, he had 27 of his 35. Dinwiddie had 21 of his 30 in the first half. Those guys shot 72% in the first 24 minutes. And the 27 points by Luka, as many as the entire pathetic losing Suns had as a team in the first half. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We had extended garbage time. Now, if you happen to be a Maverick apologist, it was poetry in motion. But not possible, let's be realistic about it, it's not possible without a no-show by the team from Arizona. It wasn't sluggish, it wasn't lethargic, it was uninterested, and then they started feeling sorry for themselves. Devin Booker was the one that was very braggadocious. He talked about how the Suns were locked in for Game 7. He said it! He said it! He said the Suns were locked in for Game 7! Loser! The joke's on him. Booker sucked. What a fraud Devin Booker is. What a fraud Booker is, right? Talking about this guy, man, a top-level superstar. My big fat ass. This guy's a top-level superstar. Locked in. The Suns had a team-wide fast pass on the vomit comet. They puked at a time you cannot puke. They sucked from beginning to end, start to finish, soup to nuts, however you want to say it. Now, listen, Dallas played well, that's fine. But had Phoenix shown up and been a professional basketball team that competed, that had perseverance, this outcome is not possible. And Devin Booker, Mr. I should have been the MVP. Loser. 0 of 7 in the first half. And that enigma, Chris Paul, all that playoff experience, seasoned veteran Chris Paul, going to lead the way for the Suns. He let him right in the Grand Canyon. 70 miles an hour, right in the Grand Canyon. 0 for 3 in the first half. Now, Booker and Paul, they're the greatest backcourt, my ass. 3 points. Absenteeism. They finished with 21 points, and most of that, obviously, garbage time. The game was over at halftime. The lack of execution, the lack of effort by Phoenix, stunning. Stunning. Dallas had 23 second chance points. The Suns had as many second chance points as me, you, and everyone else listening to us. 0. Wowzers. That is a lack of effort. Obvious. Now, don't bury the lead, my man. Page 2. Chris Paul. We tried to warn you. You wouldn't listen. It's a bad job by you. Is Chris Paul cooked? Come on. It's an obvious question. During an earthquake, does the ground shake during an earthquake? You know the answer with Chris Paul. We have been barking about CP3 for an extended period of time right now into these microphones, shouting into the talk radio wilderness that Chris Paul is a diminishing asset. And did you listen? No, you didn't listen. Well, now you're going to listen. We have now been vindicated with his performance. The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the box score. Chris Paul turned 37 years old when the Suns went to Dallas for Game 3.
Happy birthday.
And he turned into Houdini. He vanished. That was it. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Bye-bye. Wow. Now the apologists are out. Oh, he wore down. It's okay. He'll be back. Okay. What if he's not built for the long haul? The war of attrition. Chris Paul, first 2 games against Dallas, the opening 2 games, the Suns came out, looked great. Chris Paul, 47 points total, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. And then the music stopped. The last 5 games of the 7-game series, Chris Paul had 47 points. So 47 in the first 2, 47 in the last 5. He averaged the last 5 games of an NBA playoff series less than 10 points a game, less than 6 assists a game, less than 3.5 rebounds per game, and over 3.5 turnovers per game. That's your Hall of Fame player. That's your leader. Your spirit animal, Chris Paul. Total debacle. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. Unless you don't. And in terms of the question, do the Suns going forward have a CP3 problem? And that is 100%. 100%. And the management there in Arizona need to hold an intervention. They need to get Ponce de Leon on the phone. He lives down in Florida. And they've got to find the fountain of youth. CP3 is now 3-5 as a point guard, formerly known as the point god, now the point fraud. We gave him that nickname the other day, and he's earned it in this series. 3 and 5 in Game 7. First player in NBA history to be on 5 teams that were up 2-0 and ended up losing a playoff series. That's the resume. Chris Paul, right there. Common bond, the common denominator, Chris Paul. But he's a Hall of Famer. He's the leader. Whee! It's funny, isn't it? It's funny. All right, final thought. So does this loss to the Mavericks prove that the Suns were a fluke getting to the finals last season? And we are nodding our head yes. Now, knowledgeable basketball observers understand this to be true. But for those of you in the back of the room that don't understand basketball, that are fanboys, the frauds in the back of the room, Phoenix was the talk of the NBA last season. They got to the finals. Got to the finals before blowing a 2-0 lead in that series against the Bucks. That playoff run, the most bogus playoff run in recent NBA history. Not my opinion, it's a fact. And deep down, you know it's true. And the Suns management's going to come to this realization and say, what have we done? Why did we give Chris Paul the extension we did? Why? Is it true that Phoenix has now validated they were total pretenders? Of course. Smoke and mirrors. Easy road to the finals. The Suns were given a biblical path, the Moses special, as in the parting of the Red Sea or the parting of the Western Conference. Let's flash back. Chris Paul and friends played the Lakers in the first round last year. And snap, crackle, pop, Anthony Davis, as he often does, the glass man, went down with an injury. Then in the second round, they played the Nuggets without their second-best player, Jamal Murray. Snap, crackle, pop. They gone. Oh, the Nuggets 2 series in. They get to the Western Finals, the NBA Final Four. They play the Clippers in the Final Four. And Kawhi Leonard, snap, crackle, pop. He injures his knee. He's out for the series. They play the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo banged up first 2 games. He gets healthy. See you later. And the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. And this season, Phoenix played New Orleans without Zion Williamson, who was out eating gumbo somewhere during the first round. And the Pelicans went to 6 games. So essentially it's this. You play a healthy team if you're the Suns. You don't win in the playoffs. That's just the way it is. The Suns have played 2 series against healthy teams the last 2 years. They've lost both of them. To the Mavericks this season and to the Milwaukee Bucks when Giannis got back last season. That's the story. This team's bogus. The Suns are a total fraudulent team, and they've been exposed, and hey, it's the way it is. I'm just a messenger. Don't blame me. I'm just passing on what I have witnessed in these last couple of seasons. It's the way it is. All right, let's go into the Suns locker room here. And Monty Williams, I hope he likes that Coach of the Year award. He can polish that up. And here's Monty explaining the Suns now getting the taste of defeat.
I talked to them about all year long. We've been hearing all the praises, winning all the games and setting records and all that stuff. And we've been, taking it. Well, tonight you got to take it. That's a part of manhood. There are days where it doesn't go your way and you got to stand right there and show character and integrity and take it. That's life.
You can go get some barbecue sauce on that. They can eat it with the barbecue sauce. All right, here's more from Monty Williams, who's trying to deflect. His team was gutless and being a good coach and going to the bag of cliches there. Monty Williams is trying to claim it's his fault that his team had no idea how to play basketball.
From my standpoint, I did not have us ready to play in a Game 7. They played their tails off, and that part for me is tough because I know how bad our guys wanted it. We just had a bad night.
Now, Devin Booker was not only a basketball player, he was miserable, and he promised. He said, listen, our team is locked in. He said that in the lead up to Game 7. Devin Booker said the Suns were locked in. Hey, Devin, what do you got to say now, Devin?
Just that we lost. That's the biggest thing. And the fashion that we did it in. You can have those nights during the regular seasons, and you have them here and there where a shot can't fall and they're hitting every shot. And, I think it just happened to be, the wrong timing on it in a Game 7.
But you were locked in. You said it. You said you were locked in. The entire team was locked in, you fraud. All right, how about Chris Paul, CP3, point guard, the point fraud? You'll hear the question and the answer.
Many people believe that this could have been your best chance. Have you thought about that at all? And did it hit you a little harder when the buzzer sounded? This is a lost opportunity.
Not at all. They said that last year. Probably said it back in 2008. You play long enough and you don't win. Every time you lose, they're going to say it was your best chance. But I think for me, we'll be right back next year. I'll tell you that much. I'm not retiring tomorrow. Thank God. Hopefully I'm healthy, come back, but we'll keep playing.